All right, Shalom. All right, Shalom. Yeah, we're all good. We're working. Yeah, Shalom. Come to in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, and salutes to the Akim that continue to push the word in truth and in sincerity. It's the brother Yerami here again, and coming to this lesson. As you can see from the title, it says Oikonomia, household management, economics, a testament to downfall. Okay, because pretty much, man, the economy itself is a testament. The economy, the world, individual economies, the worldwide economy, is a testament. It bears witness of the downfall, man, of this whole world, man. You know, and this is a lesson that I've been meaning to do, and yeah, man. I was putting it together, and I pretty much came up with a lot of articles or write-ups that I'm just gonna go through, and then filter that all through the scripture. And as I've said before, economics is my background, if you will. I said yesterday there was in the video I was doing that you've got to be able to what's it lose your life, man, and that also to find it. That's in the scriptures, and that also includes all the stuff that you're involved in career-wise, man. And I mentioned about me wanting to be a pilot, and after piloting, I could have been a the three basically career options I could have chosen was aviation, being a pilot, a musician, or economics, man. You know, and I studied each of these topics in depth, man. But here I am, but I'm using I wouldn't say skills, but that knowledge. And you don't have to be an economist to understand this, man. I'm just using that knowledge and linking it up with the precepts in the Bible, man, to show you that this world economy is on the way out, man. You know, and when I was putting together the tabs that I'm gonna use, there was a lot of graphs that I was gonna break down, but there's really no point. I mean, if you want to go and look at the graphs in your own time, you can. At some point in this video, video in this stream, rather, I'll say the names of the graphs. You can, for your own knowledge, you can just go and look it up. But there's really no point in me getting into the nitty gritty of every single graph and explaining how you violate or manipulate rather different factors and instruments to get different outcomes, because we could sit here, it's not a university lecture, we could sit here and go through that, and then at the end of the day it would be, oh yeah, that was a good breakdown on econometrics and economic graphs and instruments and policies and whatnot. That's not what we're here for. So scriptures say make it plain upon the table. So though I'm gonna use Esau's devices against him to show, or he himself says it, man, that the world is in a bad position, man. Individual economies are in a bad position, you know. But there's no point in going into every single graph about it, man, because that'll just take a lot of time and it won't be entirely edifying. What will be edifying though is getting the base understanding or the in-depth overall understanding of what it's about, okay, and then showing that in the precepts, man. So with that said, as always, man, infinite glory and honors, praises, and blessings upon the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yashai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, and salutes to the Akim out there that continue to push the word in truth and in sincerity. So as you can see from the title, it says um, Oikonomia, household management, economics, a testament to downfall. Okay, so without further ado, let's just start. And as you can see on the screen, let me make sure the stream's working. Hold on. Here we go. It's still going. Lovely. Anyway, oh man. Yeah. As you can see on the screen, it says economy, right? And we at Great Millstone, um, we get into words, man, because you can throw words around and not really know what you're talking about. Okay. So we're not ignorant of the meaning of words here at Great Millstone. We actually study and get into the meanings of words, get into the etymology of words, how words are compilated together, how words are even broken up, the compound of words and whatnot. We get into all of that, man. So since we're talking about economics in this quick lesson I'm doing, want to show what the word economics actually means, okay? Or economy is the same thing, okay? And the origin is Greek, and it comes, as you can see on the screen here, it comes from the word oikos, okay? Oikos, which means house, and in Greek, nemi or nemein, if I'm saying that correctly, excuse my pronunciation, but nemi or nemein means manage. Okay, so when you put oikos and nemein together, house and manage, you get the Greek oikonomia. Okay, and oikonomia means household management. Okay, and there's French, and I ain't gonna attempt to say that in French because although I can read through French, my pronunciation is not very good at all, and I don't want to butcher the word. But then you get the French offshoot, you have the Latin offshoot, via which a combination of the French and Latin, we come to the English uh, version of this Greek word or translation of the word to economy, which means management. And the English, man, when you really, you learn this when you start learning Hebrew, man. When you really get into the Hebrew and other languages, even Arabic, like even German, but especially the Semitic languages, right? When you get into it, man, you come to understand that English is one of the most filthiest languages out there, man. It's a polluted language. It's a compilation of here, then, everywhere, and it's just overly long for no reason, man. You know, it's just overly long for absolutely no goddamn reason, man. English is a polluted language, man. You know, but that's another topic for another day. But in English, they would say economy and they would say management of material resources. All right, cool. But when you go to the basics of the word, it just means house management or management of the household, you know? But anyways, it says management of material resources, late 15th century. And that's the idea that most people subscribe to, Like I said, I studied economics and they will tell you what economics is about, and they'll say economics is the allocation of scarce resources. Now, we have to wonder, why are the resources scarce? ESA will never tell you that, okay? Because we live in a world that is more than on a planet rather that's more than capable of catering and supplying for the people. But the way production happens and the way ESA has set things up, man, you can read about this in what they would call, what's it called, man? The industrial revolutions. All right, that's when Esau really started to fuck the planet up, man. You know, because it doesn't matter at what cost Esau wants his products to be produced and sold, so he can make revenue. Okay, at the cost of labor, poor labor. All right, you get into business, they call it hygiene factors. All right, they don't give a fuck if their workers are dying from the conditions they're working in. They don't care if their workers are sick, all right, physically or mentally. Okay, they don't care about anything to do with the workers, right? All they care about is that the product is made and it's sold. They don't. Furthermore, they don't care about the resources of the land. Okay, they'll work the land till there's no more nutrients left in the land itself. Okay, so that land becomes useless, but they still work in the land. All right, they don't care about the pollution they cause in the air, breaking down what they would call in science the ozone layer. Okay, you know, they polluting the air, polluting the water. I was gonna do a video on the other day, but I didn't end up doing the video. I just researched it. But the majority of the water on the planet is actually polluted, man. Why? Because it all goes back to Esau. But is it that they're just pumping uh well, I was gonna make a point and say, is it that they're just pumping these chemicals into the into the atmosphere and into the water for fun? Yeah, they do it for fun, but the majority of it started with it being a byproduct of the majority of the pollution started as a byproduct, or as you would call it economics, since we're talking about it, a negative externality. All right, we're actually gonna get, let me get it. It started as a negative externality of production. Okay, now let's pull that up. Negative externality. All right, and it says here, this a negative externality is a cost that is suffered by a third party, all right, as a result of an economic transaction. In a transaction, the producer and consumer are the first and second parties, and the third parties include any individual organization, property owner, or resource that is indirectly affected. Okay, but you see the way Esau says things, man, he'll make you think that you're benefiting too, even when you're really not. Okay, because it says a negative externality is a cost that is suffered by a third party as a result of an economic transaction. In a transaction, the producer and the consumer are the first and second party. All right. But little do you know, well, it's coming out, it's been out. Really, the secondary party is affected as also, all right, because the products you buy, for the most part, have a negative externality on you physically, man. All right. Case in point, I was doing some research, and I was doing some research for Esau, you know, and it turns out that there's tea farms in a place in India by the name of Benjiling. I can't remember if that's how you pronounce it, or Benjiing or something like that. It's like a tea farm, mountain terrain in India, right? And aside from the disgusting uh conditions they had the workers working in. And by the way, a lot of those Indians, man, they are Israelites, man. Believe it or not, man. Okay. I forget the name of them, of their tribe. It's cities, I can't remember cities or something else, man. But a lot of those Indians, so-called East Indians and whatnot, even a lot of Arabs, man. A lot of Arabs are Israelites, man, and these Indians. But anyways, man, on the tea farm, the Germans, which are Edomites, right? They set up basically they do FDI, which is foreign direct investment, okay, and they trade with India for their tea, because the tea in India is of a very high quality. The way they grow it, the way they pluck it, you know, every single aspect of that production in the primary source of production, which is actually working on the farm, it's done in an authentic way so that the tea is not what do you call it? The tea is not tarnished in any way. All right. And that's how these Indians were doing it for hundreds of years. But then Esau comes in with his bright ass and says, listen, man, we need more, because German people have been waking up to tea, in the sense of they don't have that in Germany as a big thing, but more people are waking up to the idea of tea and how nice tea is, man. So what it is, that goes back to the simple uh diagram of supply and demand, all right? Where you have, let's just see if I can get that up, and then I'm gonna go back. All right, let's see. if you can get this up on Google. Right, so this is a supply and demand graph, as you can see, right? And the quantities at the bottom and the prices at the top. And this is supply, yeah? So S1s is initial supply. This is what the Indians were given, right? And demand is D1. Where D1 and S1 intersect, right, or their paths cross, is where the cursor is right now, if you can see on the screen, okay? That is where the price would be, okay? And this is where the quantity would be, all right? But demand, as you can see here, increases. So in the context of these Germans, they're saying, no, 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 we want more. We want more of this. We want more. So it goes from D1, which is demand 1 for T, it goes up all the way to D2. So demand increases. And then for the most part, on all economic apparatus graphs, an outward shift to the right, because you usually think of a graph this way. So outward shift to the right, where the cursor is going left to right, that shows an increase. So D2 is now the new demand for T. That means supply has to also make an outward shift. That means they have to supply more. All right. What does that mean? Longer hours. Okay. Less breaks for the workers. Okay. And by the way, the majority of the workers that they have on the tea farms are women, man, with children. And they said, man, when I watched that documentary, it pissed me the hell off, man, because it's the Germans who employ these people. They also give, I wouldn't even say houses, they give shacks, man, and they say you still got to pay rent, right? No, sorry, not you ain't got to pay rent. We'll only allow you to live there if you're working for us, but they don't have normal toilets, man. So what they're doing is digging holes in the ground where they live to shit in and to pee in, to piss in, right? And then they cover it up. But because it's in the same land where they live in and where they farm the tea, it doesn't break down properly. And then that's distributed into the soil where they're growing the tea. That's why the scriptures say that's why the Lord said back in the ancient world that if you have to defecate, go outside of the camp and take your tools with you, because outside of the camp, that's not where you're actually dwelling. First of all, that defecation is polluted, right? And the scripture says that the Lord walks up and down the camp, okay? So that so you can't have any uncleanness in the face of the Lord, all right? He can't be there, okay? So that's number one. But number two, on a sanitary level, you can't dig and put your feces where you're gonna try and farm. That doesn't make any sense. You have to wait for those feces to break down, reintegrate into the soil, okay? Then the nutrients are grown again with the other elements like sunlight, like water, like oxygen, and all the other things and properties that's found in soil, zinc, and all these other metals deep, deep down. And then after a process of years, you can use that land again. But as for where you're actually going to release yourself, you can't have that in the camp. But these fucking Germans, these Edomites, they said to the Indians, right, just make a toilet in the ground where you live in the shacks and where you also farm. And you can only live here if you're farming more hours. So they don't give a fuck, man. So they're saying, let's go back to this, man. Oh no, that's not, I want it up here. Where is it? Oh man, I can't remember where I had it. Got so many tabs open. Yeah, here. Negative externalities. They're saying that in a transaction, the producer and consumer are the first and the second party. Okay. But it's really, and then they're saying the third party is someone that's outside of the first and second, what do you call it, producer and consumer, so the first and second party. But really and truly, the people that do the groundwork in the primary sector on the farms, they're also affected, if not affected the most, by the negative externalities. See, so Esau just paint things to you like, oh, it's only a third party that's going to receive the negative. No, the people that are actually involved, the producers themselves, because you've lorded over them, which is nothing more than slavery, okay? Just work in the field and you'll get pittance as pay, all right? And if you decide not to work with us, if you so decide not to work with us anymore, then we'll repossess the shack that we loan to you. And then you're gonna be homeless. And then you're gonna die and your children gonna die. And the little money we have, you ain't gonna be able to buy rice. Because that's what they eat over there. If you don't buy rice, then you'll die of hunger and your children will die. And the rest of your money, you can't send your children to school. To Esau, man, Esau's just fucked up on all levels, man. But because he hides it between under or covers it rather with economics and so-called political intelligence, people think that he's he's the mastermind and he's so pure and he's so bright and he's so smart. Man, this guy's the fucking devil, man. Okay. But back to this graph, man. As the supply makes an outward shift left to right from S1 to S2, that means the workers are working harder, right? Now, if you see the intersection here at where is it? S2 is here and D2, right, is lower. Okay. That means if what do you call it? The quantity increases, the price decreases, man. You know? So if there's more of it, people don't really care, man. That's why they tell you, I guarantee you, if you enroll into an economics course, be it in college, be it in university, be it in wherever you go, man, the first thing they're going to tell you is that economics is the allocation of scarce resources. But why is it scarce? Because this damn devil, man, has painted an illusion that there's no land anywhere, there's no resources anywhere. And then the resources that they did lie about, they fucked it up, man. Which makes it scarce any goddamn way. So Esau's just the devil through and through, man. You know, Esau is just the devil through and through. And like I said, I'm gonna get to a couple of scriptures to back up everything that I'm saying, but we're just going through it via Esau's tools to show you that he is the devil and he's the reason as to why you know the world is the way it is, man. So that I just have to get some water, man. But yeah, that's that. Okay. But the price goes down because there's more of it. But then when there's less of it, the price goes up. That's just how things work naturally. That's a natural thing, which is true. But then Esau lies on top of that, man. Case in point, in England, man, I do a lot of traveling these days. And England, they make it seem England is small, right? But they make it seem that England is smaller than it is, man. Especially if you live in London, man. You are automatically, unless you're tuned in, woken, unless you're woken up, man, as they say, woke, unless you're woke in London, man, naturally by the media, by the news, by all of these different things, man, naturally and subconsciously, you're gonna be tricked or fooled into believing, right, that what do you call it? That there's no space in the country, man. Oh, we've got a housing problem. Oh, we've got a housing problem. We need space to build more flats. We need high-rise flat. And that whole high-rise flat thing is demonic, man. Let me just put that out there, man. You know, yeah, but yeah, we gotta live in them, la di da di da, you know. But the whole concept of that high-rise flat thing is demonic, man. All right, that's a topic for another time. But anyhow, man, we gotta build high-rise flats. There's no space. There's no space. You know, getting a mortgage in London right now, you can forget about it. You know, you can just forget about it, man. You know, but when you travel the UK, yeah, and you go on these A roads and you go on these motorways, man, and you go up and down, you go to the Midlands, you go way out, man. All right. There's so much space, man. Okay. There is so much space, right? That you could build on and let people have a decent sized house, all right, a decent garden and a decent environment, man. When you're in London, man, there's that because hey, I'm originally from London. I spent I spent my whole life in London, man. It's only recently that I moved out of London, but I'm always in London, but I live out of London now. All right. But the point is that when you go into London, man, there's an actual demonic spirit over that place, man. Okay, everything is rushed, everything is demonic, everything is like a simulation, man. You know, the, London's demonic. That's the only way I can put it, man. You know, and say, oh, there's no space for houses, right? Oh, because they make you believe, right? This is how fucking stupid it is, man. They make you believe that all the countryside is just full of farmers sending their produce into London. Let me tell you right now, that is some bullshit, man. A lot of that space is just open Greenland, man. You know, that the pollution is not there's pollution there, but at least it's not as heavy as it is in London, man. You know, and a lot of it's open Greenland, and they have this thing called new build housing projects, right? And there's like, let's say I'm traveling from London to Birmingham or to Nottingham or to Leicester, Loughborough, any of these places like in the West or East Midlands, right? Let's say I take there's many routes I could take. Let's say I take the M25 and the M1, because there's many routes you can take to get to these places. But let's just say I take the M25 and the M1, right? Okay, or the no, or the M25 and the M11, right? And I end up in Nottingham. Okay, when I hit the countryside and I'm driving, right? I kid you not, you will two, only two new build projects where they're building new housing in the countryside. Only two. Only fucking two, man. Now, if you take different routes and you go from different angles, you might see more. But I guarantee you, you're not gonna see an abundance of houses when you're driving, man. You're just gonna see Greenland after Greenland after Greenland, a little town here, then more Greenland and more Greenland until you get to the next major city, man. But then they have everyone cramped up in London, man. They say, oh yeah, there's no more space. There's no more space, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. When you understand the scriptures, all right, you understand that Esau's a damn liar, man, and he has everyone under an illusion, man. You know, but I've explained this, man. Anyways, so we've gone through um what the word economy means. We've gone through the idea of supply and demand. We've gone through the negative externalities, which they also lie about. There's truth in it, but then they twist it and lie, man. You know, because yeah, there is negative externalities, man. You know, negative externalities. Number one is to the planet, man. Esau has it only because man, Esau paints himself to be so intellectual. If you were so goddamn intellectual, Mr. Esau, why the fuck, man? You know, excuse my profanities. But why the hell, man? Why the hell would you destroy the land that you live in? You destroy the water you have to drink, the water you have to bathe with, right? The water you have to use to water your plants and whatnot. You know, you destroy the oxygen that you have to breathe in. You cut down the trees, man. Do you know you pollute the oceans? Do you know that trees and the ocean are responsible for cleaning the air? The trees and the oceans are responsible for cleaning the oxygen that we breathe, man. Yet what does Esau do? Cut down all the goddamn trees, man. Yeah, we need more wood. Yeah. We need to make paper. You know, and they make paper from leaves, right? Yeah, we need resources, human resources. This guy's a devil, man. You pollute the oceans, right? Because I believe 30% of the oxygen is cleaned by trees. I have to go check it out, but last time I checked, if my memory serves me correct, 30% of oxygen is renewed by trees and 70% by the oceans. And you can't even leave the oceans alone, man. The, the oceans are messed up, man. All right. They've actually done autopsies on dead fishes, dead whales, dead sea animals and creatures. All right, and when they've split them open after they died, man, they've seen plastic stuck in their stomachs that they can't break down, plastic stuck in their throat. Right, they've even found plastic where little fishes are caught up in and have ended up dead, man. Plastic bags, all kind of metals and whatnot, man. When they go to the seabed, they've seen nothing but bottles and pollution, man. you know, dumped in there, shit and all of that, man. So much so to the point where the animals, man, that's their territory, man. And the animals, they're just saying, fuck that, man. I'd rather die. You got whales beaching themselves, just using whales just washed up on beaches. Why is that, man? Because Esau has fucked up every element, man. The ground, the land, the sea, the air, you know, everything you can think of, Esau has tampered with it for the worst, man. You know, because when the world was created, it was created good, man. You know, the scripture says in Genesis that when we saw it after it was made, we said it is good. Okay, but you get mad at Esau, but at the same time, he's just doing what he's meant to do, man, because he's the devil, man. He's plugged into that, into Satan, man. You know. Anyways, back to more on topic, right? The recession. Oh, by the way, this is the debt clock, man. This is the debt clock of the US. Okay, and debt, man, debt is not a good thing, man. They got federal revenue to GDP ratios, revenue per taxpayer, US national debt. It's just ridiculous, man. And guess what? Apostle to Heart always goes into it, but really it's about triple what we're seeing on the screen, man. But as we speak, Esau's debt is just raising and raising and raising. There's no way, man. There's actually no way possible, okay, for Esau to fix this and to be out of debt, man. He works on a debt-based society, man. And the scriptures talk about usury, which is the ancient word for debt, man. You know, so man. Anyways, in the UK is where I'm at. The Financial Times, they say the risk of a UK recession is growing. Of course, man. And like I said, if you're thinking of buying a house in the UK, think again, man. All right, you gotta have some serious money to want to take out a mortgage or just. But you, well, if you had that kind of money, you would just buy the house, man. But if you're gonna take out a mortgage or try and put a payment on the house, you're living in an imaginary world right now, man. You know, unemployment in the UK now stands at its lowest level in 4 decades. Gross domestic product growth at the start of the third quarter of 2018. And by the way, I know this is last year, but it's still relevant to 2019 because financially we carried on all the way until April or so-called April. Also shows an economy in decent shape, all right, having grown faster in a period of 2 quarters. All right, but the thing is, right, what they don't tell you is that when it's called noise, man, in macroeconomics, it's called noise. The rate at which things are fluctuating, if it fluctuates quite massively, like up and down really quickly, it's called noise. All right. So there's a lot of noise in the UK economy. But what they don't tell you is that when there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of unpredictability. All right. And if you do mathematics, which is largely involved in what do you call it, in economics, okay, there's a module that you would take or you'd have to get into if you're really serious about it, quantitative methods and statistics, right? And with your statistical tests, you would see, which is mathematics, by the way, different mathematical instruments, you would see that the confidence is really low for anything, for anything. The confidence is low, man. Confidence is just at an all-time low because there's too much noise. There's no stability. Therefore, you can't predict what's going to happen. You know, when we know what's going to happen according to the scriptures, but on a carnal level, you just don't know what's going to happen. Therefore, the confidence ratings are extremely low, man. And by the way, you get the word mathematics from the Hebrew word amath, which means truth, because numbers don't lie, baby. Mathematics is of the Lord. People like, ah, the Lord don't deal with numbers. Yes, the Lord deals with numbers, man. You're just ignorant and don't know nothing, man. You know. But we should not be complacent about those numbers. The UK faces the highest risk of recession of any of the 13 economies for which the conference board tracks business cycles, and our leading economies index suggests that the British economy may start shrinking over the course of the next year. And that's not good. All right, that is not good. That's bad. All right, it's looking bad for England, boy. You know, because one of the macroeconomic goals for every single economy, but it's just a well-known macroeconomic goal for sustained growth. All right, for economy to be deemed doing well, you want it to have sustained growth, which the UK does not have. Right? And by the predictions, the UK economy is on the way to shrinking, which will inevitably end up in its demise. And not only the UK, the worldwide economy, man, you know, but it's gonna start shrinking excessively, man, exponentially, really quickly. Why? Because Brexit, man, and all this malarkey, man, you know, which is a good thing in the grand scheme of things. Spiritually, it's a good thing, man, because that's in Daniel's, man, you know. The iron and miry clay ain't gonna be it ain't going it shall not wax, man. It's gonna be broken up, man. We monitor 8 key leading indicators, and our UK LEE has correctly predicted all 4 recessions that have hit the British economy since 1970. We've had 4 recessions, man. What the hell? In early 2017, the index began declining and has continued doing so for 16 consecutive months. Like, and man, economically, that we 16 months ain't that long, but man, listen, that's very bad. In terms of economic growth, man, and trajectory is looking down. That's all I can say. It's looking down. All right. I'm not reading through the whole thing because some of it is irrelevant. It's repeating itself, just hitting the main points. It says this in this paragraph that I'm in. There's also the confusion around Brexit. Will there be a hard or soft Brexit or no deal? That makes it difficult for businesses to decide what strategies and investments to pursue. The uncertainty can lead to indication. The uncertainty can lead to inaction and be dangerous trigger for a recession. So no matter what happens, man, either way, the UK is fucked, man, because of this whole Brexit thing, man. You know, and I believe I've got I'm gonna finish this one. I believe I've got where is it here? That's not this one. These are today all some of the companies that's left the UK, man. You know, it says some companies, the heading, some companies that set to leave the UK, if not already have done so because of Brexit. EasyJet, the airline, they gone. Diageo is gone. Goldman Sachs has gone. All right. The Dutch bank has gone. Microsoft has gone. Smithies has gone. Barclays has gone. Okay. And the list can go on and on and on, man. You know, I believe Land Rover left as well, man. And Jaguar, I think. It was Land Rover. They left as well. Because people are seeing that there's no stability, man. All right. And in economics, confidence is a big thing. And right now, there is no confidence in the economy, man. That's why all of these big time corporations are just exiting, man. Because they can see in the future. They can see in the future, Salakio, that whatever the outcome, their company is going to be affected for the worse. It's not boosting them. It's not helping them grow. If anything, it'll lose them money. So what they're going to do? They're going to leave. Right? So Esau doesn't even have trust in Esau, and that's in the scriptures, man. You know, we gonna get to it. We gonna get to it, man. One thing I always talk about is the imports and exports, man. You know, I ain't gonna read the whole thing, but pretty much with the whole Brexit thing, man. And there's, like I said, there's graphs and indicators that could go through, but it's not really relevant, man. You ain't gonna have to draw a graph to get into the kingdom of heaven, right? You just gotta understand the truth, be a man of the Lord, teach the word, be sincere, man, and take it from there. Okay. So there's no point me getting into the how to draw the graph and what this means. I mean, I've done it for the supply and demand because that was a simple graph. But I ain't gonna get into every single detail for the more intricate things, because that would be a good lesson, but it's not good in the sense of you don't need it. It's irrelevant. But with uh, imports, man, first of all, the UK doesn't export a hell of a lot. But with imports, with the whole Brexit thing, what are we gonna do, man? There's gonna have to be new laws made on the rule of imports. Okay, some of the products we were used to able to import, we probably can't import them. It would be a thing where you have to pay more to import them, or the quantity and amount that we had coming in or being imported will be the same. Change for the worse, man. And when people get frustrated that they can't get something, right? That's when people start to really. That's when the demons start to act up inside of people. What do you mean I can't have this? What do you mean? What do you mean? Ah! And then the demons jump on people, right? And that's when you're gonna start seeing a lot of protests in the UK, man. Right? People thinking that finally Brexit's coming to an end. Let's just hear the decision, the verdict, and get on with it. Nah, sir, it ain't gonna be like that, man. When Brexit happens, man, whatever happens, right? The point is this, man. It's gonna be a devastating effect one way or another, and that's when a lot of people are gonna start to protest, man. And one thing I learned about the English, and I observed about the English, right? The so-called English people, damn Edomites, man. What I noticed about the English or the British, right, is that they're very comfortable, even when things happen close to home. Like things used to be, oh, that's over there in the Middle East. That's not gonna touch us. That's in the Middle East. That's in the Middle East. They ain't coming here. Then it's coming closer and closer. You know, oh, that's France. That's France. Yeah, that's not gonna happen to France. France is next door, mate. That's our neighbor. And the English people, they all, even in the midst of Brexit, man, the English, man, they're, if not secondary to the Americans, which they're the same people anyway, but I would say, man, the English are extremely proud people, man. Out of all Edomites, they're very proud for nothing, man. You know, they always think it's not gonna touch here. It's not gonna touch protest. Nah, it's not gonna happen here. Yes, it will, man. When the Brexit goes down, man, it's quite evident that there will be catastrophic events, man. There's gonna be people doing all kind of riots, man. Okay, and that's just going. Hey, and if you see through the spirit, you're gonna be a visionary. Everything is coming from different angles, right? Imagine like drawing lines together, coming from different angles, up, down, left, right, diagonal, all kind of places. But all these lines meet together in the center focal point, which is the end of this world, man. Right? Here they have it, they're demonizing us in the news. Black Hebrew Israelites, Israelites, the Black Hebrew Israelites, the militant group, the racist hate group, all right? You got that over there. That's gonna come over here to Europe also. Then you got the UK going down. Then you got Trump on his madness. Then you got World War III. What do you call it? People, rumors of wars. The scriptures talk about that. Rumors of wars. Right. You got famines in certain places, which is gonna amp up. Right. Then you got the chip being pushed heavy, 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 heavy. The chip is gonna be made mandatory. And as Apostle Dahar said, I like to reiterate this, man. We can't jump ahead of the prophecies, man. We can't just be saying the end's gonna come, or the end might come because of this. No, we gotta follow the order of prophecy, man, because there's an order to things. Right? You ain't gonna get to Z before you accomplish F. You're not gonna get to Y before you accomplish B. A, B, C, D. Take it in order. All right. That's just how it goes, man. But nonetheless, man, all these events happening in their order and appointed time, it all points to one thing, man. You know, that there's a extreme fall, man. You know, there's a fall, and inevitably rather, it's gonna be the downfall of this whole wicked society, man. You know, tariffs are taxes on goods and whatnot, and services rather. You know, that's just gonna go exponentially high. Okay, so the UK, man, you're always talking and thinking like we're exempt, man, or the UK is exempt. The UK is gonna feel it in a big way, mate. All right. Imports of goods and services to the UK edged up 0.1% from the month earlier to GDP at 56.86 billion in November 2018. And as I said before, 2018 data is still relevant to 2019 because the financial year carries all the way through to April, or so-called April, I should say. The slight increase was driven by a 0.5% advance in purchases of services, while goods imports were unchanged. Although it's going all right, see, and that's one of the reasons, man. A lot of people won't see it coming. They'll look at the short-term data of, okay, cool, it was good for this year, it was good for that year. We went up 0.1% or went up 0.5%. But then in retrospect, that's bad because although it's so small of 0.1% or 0.5%, right, it's still an increase. It's still depending on other economies. It's still depending on trade. It's still depending on all these things so that you can live your lifestyle which you so desire. Okay. But that's all going to go to the drain. So the UK is really a dependent economy, man. And that's what you call diversification or globalization. No, so like not diversification, it's globalization. Whereby countries are interdependent upon each other and trade is increased and relationship and allies are grown. That's all well and good, but when shit hits the fan, man, it's each for their own. Economy wise, country wise, and also on a personal level, man. Because within these economies, man, especially the UKs I'm talking about now, man, it's gonna get to a point where people don't give a fuck, man. You know, and it says importing after Brexit, man. I kind of stressed that point, so there's no point going through this whole article. But the whole point is this, man. Importing after Brexit is going to be a very, very tricky thing, man. And it's going to take a long time, a lot of meetings, and a lot of work to come to an agreement, right? But we know the end result, man, that is spoken of in the book of Daniel, man. I already went through that. Now this is this is interesting. Debt clock of the US and national debt clocks, right? And this is a boring topic, so I don't expect a lot of views on this, but I don't care about that anyway. So this is the world debt clock at the top, as you can see, world debt clock, right? Now watch this. Since you've arrived 12 seconds ago, there's been over, come on, man. Come on, man. Personal interest and debt is just been added. Interest occurred over, it's just in 12 seconds, man. Way over the thousands, into the millions, man. Just come on, man. Come on. 35 seconds. Look how much it's gone up. And this is exponential increases, drastic increases. Remember earlier I was talking about noise. In 44 seconds, it's gone up from from zero to the millions, man. In just under 1 minute. Look how much has gone up. Okay. And this is not the actual debt itself. This is the interest incurred. So it's what you pay on top of what you pay. 1 minute, 5 seconds. Come on, man. This is ridiculous, man. So there's no way of Esau getting out of this, man. And the point that I want to really hit is that we live in a debt-based society, man. A debt-based economy. Okay. And none of that is that's just unsecure, man. That's evil, that's unsecure. And that's evil, man. That's the only way I can put it, man. Okay. Looked at how money is created and by debt in today's economy and how the system requires that lots of people be in debt all the time. Exactly. For the system to work, it needs people to be doing bad. That what kind of what and people will oh my god, man. What kind of society is that? For your system, for your method to work, there needs to be people that actually suffer. Yet this man paints himself to be God, to be pure, to be righteous, to be smart. We're helping the people, but your financial system itself, which by the way everything stands on, right? Your financial system itself requires people to be in a bad position So the methodology of your instrument ratings can actually work. Therefore, quote unquote, your society goes forward. That's wicked, man. That is the devil. That is Esau for you, man. You know? Okay. And then you can go on and talk about savings and investments, which is really, we ain't really got no savings, man. Esau owns everything. I don't believe when they say this is your money, this is your savings. Listen, man, they've got the legal work and the financial work to repossess everything, man. They own you, your own body, man. All right. And what's interesting as well, I'm not gonna go into it right now and pull up articles and data on it, but the price, and we know this, but just saying it to get the point across. The price for your own funeral is increasing as well. You can't even pay to be laid in the ground, man. It's ridiculous, man. People having to take out loans to be put in the ground, because they died from stress for the loans and money they couldn't even pay back. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy, man. Crazy. So don't believe in these investments and savings, man. There's no such thing as savings on this side, man. All right. The only thing you should be saving, all right, is the work you put into your spiritual bank account that Apostle Abraham was always speaking about. Just put in the work, and that's building up your spiritual bank account. That's your savings, man. But as for this side, there ain't no such thing as savings, man. And they have something called debt securities. Listen, man, debt securities is when oh man, Esau, man, he's the devil. He is the ultimate devil, man. Okay, savings, man. You will even if you so-called pay off your mortgage and own your house, you don't own the house. When you get into it, the legalities of it, you don't own the land. You don't own anything. Savings and investment. Anyways, debt security. Debt security refers to debt instrument such as a government bond, a corporate bond, certificate of deposit, which is known as a CD. Uh, municipal bond or preferred stock that can be bought or sold between two parties has basic terms defined. Okay, so basically it's like the security of investments. All right, but there's no security when the security that you base it upon is based upon a situation whereby nothing was secure in the first place, because you're just creating money out of nothing, and then your economy is going down because geopolitically you have no more friends concerning nations. So even if you make investments into bank accounts or whatever, the value of that money is always going to change. And what does that go back to? The simple underlying fact that money, as we know it today, is not even real money. Therefore, it doesn't matter about debt securities and debt bonds and what bond you buy and what security you choose to take on and whatnot, because the money is not real money. Guys out here taking out their wallet, flicking cash, like, yeah, man got a scar. £1,000, thousand. That reminds me of that's a joke, man. Back in the day, I remember when I was a kid, and I had to go to I went out with my dad, man. He took me to this him and his friends had a little get together, man. You know how Benjamin is, man. Cook out and play cricket in the back garden and cook out, you know, talking shit. And I was just there with my dad. I ain't saying just silent, pretending to have fun, you know. And one guy brought out his wallet, man, you know. And I think they were playing for money on dominoes, cause you know how Jake likes dominoes, man. Benjamin love a dominoes, boy. And he brought out all this cash, like, yeah, man. Look, palm my wallet, man. Pure money, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000. That's what he was saying, man. And he didn't know the guy didn't know any better, man. And even me as a kid, I saw it. I was like, wow, oh, there's money, But as I got older, man, I started getting into things like this, man. You understand that it's all bullshit, man. All them notes, that's not money, man. That's just paper, okay? That's trees. Nothing but trees, man. That ain't no plastic. What plastic £10 notes and £5 notes, man? That ain't no real money, man. Get out of here, man. And I want to show you that This is talking about foreign direct investment. I kind of passed that point, so we'll just skip this. I want to show you how paper money ain't even real, man. Okay, and it says paper money was developed first by the Chinese, who used stag skins, barks, and parchment marked with imperial seals as bills of employment of payment. Rather, the payment for the penalty for counterfeiting was death. Right, so the whole point of a receipt, that's why it's called a bill, or the receipt, that note that you transfer to people, they give to you in shops, whatever. That's a receipt for an actual amount of real money. Okay. But it says this: paper money in the second paragraph, paper money had trouble gaining acceptance in Europe. Leather money was used around the 1100s, but only as a temporary substitute when silver supplies ran low. You see, because what is real money? Real money is gold and silver, baby. You know, a Swedish bank issued paper money in 1661, but eventually flooded the market with it and lost its value. There you go. So all this paper money, like that guy, like that was like that was like like 14, 15 years ago, man. When I went out with my dad to that cookout and that Jake, man, thousand a pound, thousand a pound. See me wallet there, thousand a pound. Pure money, pure money. Man, that ain't got no value, man. You know, that has got absolutely zilch value. That's nothing, man. You know, okay. That paper money is a representation of how much gold and silver is that you own in the bank. But then again, behind that, behind the scenes, you don't own the gold or silver because Esau's got it locked away in the vaults under the Royal Bank of England, man. Okay, or Bank of England. So you don't own nothing, man. Okay, this whole and what the fact is, the underlying fact is that, man, economically, financially, in that respect, man, everyone is under an illusion. Unless you've come into this truth or you're into geopolitics, into economics, and you're not fooled by the propaganda, man, which most people are, the majority are, you understand that it's all a matrix, man. It's all an illusion, man. You know. And quickly, you're not going to get too deep into it, but this is QE, quantitative easing, which is just it's silly, man. It's silly. Quantitative easing is an unconventional monetary policy, all right, in which a central bank purchases government securities, once again, going back to the securities and bonds that I was recently talking about, or other securities from the market in order to lower interest rates and increase the money supply. All right, so when interest rates get too high, all right, once again, people's confidence, people want to save more and spend less because the price of things go up, right? So when it gets too high and economic activity, um, buying and selling goes too low, that threatens an economy. So therefore, there's a monetary policy which is made by instituted by the Monetary Policy Group, all right, aka government, all right. They introduced this instrument or methodology called QE, quantitative easing, where they pump more money into circulation, okay, to lower the interest rates and increase money supply. So that's where they'll print like 100,000 new notes, man. I don't know exactly how much, but they'll print a large amount of notes, and then boom, that's just now that's in circulation. Out of thin air, that's just in circulation, right? But the under and stupid people will look at them and be like, wow, there's more money. Like, wow, there's now I'm rich. I can be rich because there's more money in circulation. I can make more money. More money. Yeah, but hold on a second. That's just the receipt. What is that new paper backed by? Because can you just print more gold? You can't do that, you know? Can you just can you just can you just can you just somehow get more gold? Just say crash bang wallop and more gold appears? No. So all this new money that's being printed, what is it backed by? because the money that you already had in the crisis beforehand, before you introduced the method of quantitative easing, that money itself wasn't even backed by gold or silver. So how the hell can you print more money to be not backed by gold or silver, which is real money, which is real wealth? Okay. So how? What does this new print of money do? Nothing. That means what is it? What's the side effect of that? What's a negative? Remember we went over negative externalities before. What's a negative externality of a of quantitative easing rather? It's the fact that the value of money goes down. All right. That's why back when was it, man? I forget, the time period escapes me. Around the Weimar war crash and whatnot over there in Germany. Like if you went to a restaurant, right? And you, like, let's say you took your woman out for a meal, right? You treat your lady, you know, you my queen, you my baby. I love you. I'm joking, man. You know, but hey, you do what you do, man. Let's say you take your woman out to the meal, right? At a restaurant. You would look at the menu and then you order and you pay afterwards, right? But back then they had this thing where the waiter would say to you, listen, man, let's agree on a price, okay? We're gonna agree on a price and you're gonna pay this for your meal, because the economy had so much noise in it. Remember, we went over noise earlier. The economy was noise is just fluctuations. There was so much fluctuations in the value of the money at the time, that by, let's say you spend 45 minutes in a restaurant eating, right? Or an hour in the restaurants eating, three-course meal at the end, right? Within that hour, there was so much fluctuations that the price of that meal would either go up to some stupid price or decrease to a stupid price. But the fact is that the price of that meal would change over the course of the hour that you were eating that meal with your woman in a restaurant. So the waiter would say to you, because it's going to be so hard to calculate, let's just agree on a price, okay? And then regardless of what the value of money is at the end of this hour or the end of the meal, you gonna pay me that price, because there was no way of calculating the value of money. And that's when money, that's probably the worst uh example, or the largest example um I can give of or to explain the situation, man. It also got to the point where the value of notes were stupid, man. So much so that children in the streets were kicking around like $1 million, man. Kids, like little toddlers, 4, 5, 6 years old, man. They were walking around with like 2 million Weimar euro. I forgot the currency name because it's changed so many times, but 2 million of that currency, man, at the time, because the value of money was just gone to shit, man. So when you see all these jakes, opening suitcases of money and flossing watches and flossing this and flossing that, listen, man, you're still a slave to that money, because to you're subject to many other things as to how you got there in the first place. But money itself, you are subject to the value of it, man. Because those notes do not mean jack shit. Okay. And quantitative easing is the worst thing when it goes wrong, man. Because those notes have no weight in their receipt or value, man, as to how much gold or silver you have, you know? So that's pretty much uh you can go through all of this stuff, but that's pretty much the breakdown in simple terminology of quantitative easing. Once again, there's graphs and instruments we could use to explain it and manipulate it to show you how it goes up and down over time, and how the economists will react to certain things geopolitically, which affects finances and whatnot. That's all well and good, but at the end of the day, it's not edifying onto the fact of edification to understand the point onto salvation, man. We just need to understand what's going on, and this is an in-depth explanation, but I'm saying in terms of showing you on a graph, like I could, but at the same time, you don't need a graph to understand what's going on. Esau likes to overcomplicate stuff, man. you know Because what you'll find, especially in the truth, is that when you come into the truth, you'll understand that the most complicated things are really simple, man. Esau just likes to make things sound hard, so he sounds intellectual. Why? Because he wants to be the man. He's an actor, man. But you're not, and it's coming out that you're a devil, man. You know. Anyways, to round off on the quantitative easing side of things, it says, how much quantitative easing have we done in the UK? Following the program of QE announced in August 2016, and you might think, 2000 August, 2000 August, what the hell? So like 2016 in August, that was 3 years ago. But financially, years follow on from each other, and things like we're still suffering the consequence of things that happened in 2007 in the UK. All right, 2008, 2007, even 2009, even to all the way to 2012. Decisions that were made financially then, we're still suffering from it right now. So don't think because the year says, 3 years ago. Trust me, man, it's still very much relevant. Okay. But it says, following the program of QE announced in August 2016, purchases of government bonds will total to 435 billion. Rounds of QE have been announced in response to the economic condition at the time. The graphic shows how bond purchases have built up over the years. So as a result of QE, man, the government bonds have gone to 435 billion. Sorry, 435 billion of nothing, to be honest, because it's not backed by gold. It's an illusion, people. It's an illusion. I get that from one guy, man. That's what he said one time. It's an illusion, people. And I spoke earlier about households, man. If you trying to buy a house in London, man, yeah, right, man. Have fun. Yes, tell me how that goes on the other side, because it's not a nice situation, man. But yeah, household income. You can't buy a house anyway in London, man. Right now, if you're an average person, just forget about it. But household income, which means how much a working person or two working people rack in, because GDP is also individual but collective over economy, right? A gross domestic product. Household income falling at its fastest rate since 1976. See. Don't be fooled by the years, man. This proves my point. All the way back in 1976, which really wasn't that too long ago, but then you can say, that's a while ago at the same time, in both respects. But financially, we're still suffering, man. And if you compare it all the way back to 1976, it says that household income falling at fastest rate since 1976 as UK savings rate crashed. There's no point. See, according to how the interest rates move, people will say there's no point in saving or there's no point in spending. And it's always a mix between the both. That's why nobody can fucking save anything, man. One, because nothing has value. And then even if you try to save, it's impossible because you're always manipulated by these economic factors that they bring in. But then they'll tell you, go get a job and get a house and go get a degree and do this and you'll be happy. No, you won't, man. Right? There's rich people out there that are still financially enslaved. Why is that? Because it's all to do with the higher ups pulling the strings. All right. But inevitably it's the Lord, man. Since at the same time, the amount being set aside of savings has now slipped to just 1.7%. So people only save 1.7% of disposable income. That means after you pay your bills, after you pay your road tax if you got a car, right, after you pay the necessities of life, okay, after you allocate money to your living, okay, buying food and whatnot, necessities, right? Disposable income is measured after saving as well. So let's just say you try to save something, right? All right. Well, sorry, Salakia, the savings come out of disposable income, right? Because you got to have that. Then you have to make the decision to put something aside or not. But it says here that savings have slipped by just 1.7% of disposable income. So out of all the money you have left, which really isn't a lot, people only decide to save 1.7%. But then if interest rates and finances were to change, people would say, fuck saving, it's better to save. Sorry, it's better to spend. So you're always juggling, man. You're always juggling because it just doesn't make sense, you know? Oh boy. I already explained this. Remember earlier on when I was talking about supply and demand increasing and supply having to change and whatnot. So we don't need to go through this again. And plus, I said I wouldn't go into graphs because yeah, I explained this graph before because it was kind of simple. But the more difficult ones, there's no point because you don't need to write an essay on a graph to get into the kingdom of heaven. You know, it's kind of irrelevant. But once you have an understanding of what's going on, then you're all right. Anyways, um, having said all of what I've said, I'd like to make it clear that it's the Lord that does all of this. Yeah, you say fuck Trump, fuck Theresa May, the government, the Senate, this, that, the bankers, this, that. It's all the doing of the Lord. The Lord just uses these people. Same way the Lord uses us as robots to push this word, he uses them as demons to bring up evil upon the earth because that's what they're created for. And we're going to clarify that in this scripture, the book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 17. And the reason I bring this out first is because, yeah, we've gone through Esau's economic applications to show you that on the whole, his economy individually in countries and the world economy is going down, right? It's all the Lord's doing. This is Daniel chapter 4 and 17. And I'm almost done. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. And that's who's ruling the basis of men. Esau, the basis of men. Because Esau, like we've been telling you, he's really a fucking fool, man. He's an idiot, right? A couple of 100 years ago, this man he weren't always in a suit and tie, white and blue collar. We are the standard of beauty. We are the standard of wisdom. Nah, man. This guy recently, a couple 100 years ago, was in the Caucasus Mountains, man. And the Lord set him up. That shows the power of the Lord to take a man from a cave and make him the ruler of the world unto evil. So be it. But nonetheless, the ruler of the world shows you that the Lord can do anything, man. He set up the basis of men. Okay. But there's a lot more in this verse. It says, I read that again. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, which were the watchers, the prophets, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, who are the holy ones, the prophets also, again, to the intent that the living may know, the peoples may know, okay, that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. So all these different things going on economically, and yeah, economics does prove the downfall of this society. But is it just down to economics? No, it's the Lord manipulating things in the economy. The Lord manipulates everything, but of course, in this lesson, we're specifying or homing in on economics. So it's not your economic monetary policies or your governments or your bankers or whatever, man. Yeah, the Lord uses them, okay, but at the end of the day, it's all His doing concerning what happens, man. And it also says, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. So that's right. If the Lord wanted to give it to the basis of man, the caveman, which is what he did, then it's the Lord's choice, and set it up over it the basis of men. That's Esau, you know. That's Esau, man. And the times coming, the scriptures also speak of he setteth up kings and bringeth them down, man. So the time's coming when Esau's gonna go down. But the only problem is that Esau, well, not a problem, but the only thing where Esau played himself is that he thinks the Lord set him up, but he gonna stay there. And if the Lord says, all right, your time's up, he thinks that he gonna overcome the Lord and say, no, Lord, I'm gonna stay in power. But the point is that Esau, man, he's the ruler right now, but he's also going down. Psalms 50 and 10. And this is the thing, man. Brothers, we can't be shaken, man. You know, you can't be shaken by the economy, man. You know, oh, my job, job security, all the bills, all this, all that. You know, yeah, we got to have these things. We got to pay, you know, the scripture says we'll be subject to payments. By the end of the day, we, like people, you know, bankers, man, they're jumping out of their office buildings, you know, taking a gun and shooting themselves in the head, right? You know, have their brains splattered all over the floor looking like mincemeat. You know, we ain't gonna do that, man, because Esau has full trust in his economy, you know, but we don't, because we understand that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, man. It says that in Psalms 50 and 10, it says, for every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. Okay? Because real wealth is not federal notes, man. Real wealth is so like hold on one second. People making noise outside. Yeah, real wealth is gold and silver, you know, cattle, land, you know, resources. That's real wealth, man. You know, you got to get out of the mindset of federal notes and seeing a pound sign or a dollar sign or a euro sign or whatever goddamn sign and figures is what all there is to wealth. Nah, man, wealth is actually having the substance and resources of the earth, man. That is real wealth. Okay. So the Lord's telling you that, man. All of what is real wealth is his anyway, you know. And Yahushua said in the book of Matthew, I believe, that ye being evil know how to give your sons good gifts. How much more the Father in heaven, man? So whatever we need, man, and we ask of the Lord, man, and he says before we ask, he already knows. And the Lord said that he gonna provide for his elect, man. That's all throughout the scriptures. So we ain't gotta be worried, man, because the scripture says that a cattle upon 1,000 hills are on 1,000 hills are his anyway. You know, so we ain't got to be shaken by Esau's economic apparatus and activities, man. You know, but nonetheless, do we need money? Yeah, we do need money, man. You know, okay, because there's nothing wrong with money. It's just that when money is based upon debt or usury, and then the obsession of it, that's when it starts to go left. Okay, because there's a righteous side to everything, and there's an evil side to everything. Same goes for money, man. But is money itself wicked? No. You need money, man. The book of Ecclesiastes tells us that in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12, for wisdom is defense, and money is defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it, man. You know, exactly. Because you got some fucking idiots out there that will say, no, fuck Esau, man. Fuck Esau. We don't need to work. We don't need money. We can just live off the land. No, no, no. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do that. And then when the authorities come, right, first of all, they so-called have papers over that land, which they created them own selves, but nonetheless, they have papers over that land, right? And you're subject to pay land tax, you're subject to work and to give your tribute to Esau, man. You know? So don't get carnal, no, sorry, don't get too over righteous and think, nah, I don't need to operate in the society. I don't need money, man. I don't need money. Yes, you do. Because if you don't do it according to how Esau wants, right, you're going to end up having unnecessary problems, right? And that's in the scriptures. Give unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and unto the Lord which is the Lord's, man. If Esau wants you to pay tax, all right, Mr. Esau, I'm gonna pay your tax. If you want to charge me for a speeding ticket, all right, Esau, I'm gonna pay your speeding ticket. If Esau want to charge me to have access to water running through my taps in the house, then cool, I'm gonna pay it. If Esau want me to pay for a roof over my head, buy a rent, cool, I'm gonna pay it. Okay. If Esau wanna what do you call it? If Esau wanna what's another thing, man? If Esau want to dictate when I wake up and go to work and how much I'm paid for it, then it's okay. Because guess what, man? He's in a trick bag. It's coming to him 10 times worse, man. All right? Esau just gonna be working for nothing in the kingdom, man. And I don't even want to get into it, man, because I'll be here for another hour talking about what we're gonna do to Esau, man. You know? But it's all right, man. Just chill, man. Some guys, they're too over over hyper about things, man. No, I don't want to do this, man. I don't want to do that. Thinking that they look intellectual or they're on some sort of spiritual level because they're rebelling against Esau. No, man. The scriptures clearly told us, give to Esau, give to Esau, give unto Caesar, which is Caesar's, and unto the Lord, which is the Lord's, man. So if Esau's requiring that right now because he's in the power seat, then cool. Let him have the fucking tax. Let him have you paying rent. Let him be able to threaten you or I might kick you. Let him do all of that, man. Because the time's coming when we gonna get our own, man. You know, but we gotta wait upon the Lord. And plus, it's a punishment anyway for our wickedness, man. You know, that's why the scripture says, "I will bear the indignation of the Lord." All right. For I have sinned against him, but I'll wait until he pleads my cause, man. You know, something like that, roughly paraphrasing. You know, but you can't get simple with it, man. Uh, First Timothy, I'm almost done. First Timothy chapter 6 and 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil. There you go. It's not money itself. It's just the love of it. Oh man, money. I gotta get more. When you understand, when you come into money, man, and I'm not talking from experience, but you can see it's a repetitive cycle for people that have had it. When you come into money, man, you want more and more and more, and then you end up being a slave to that money, man. You know, you end up being a slave to that, and then boom, you can have all the money in the world, which you really won't, but you can have enough. You can come into a decent amount of money, and then just want more and more and more. And the love of it is where people become evil, selling you debt securities. When I had to study that, man, I lost my head. How the hell are you gonna sell me a debt security? You're you want me to buy debt as a company and then be an investor in that company so I can make a return upon debt, which is not even certain because of the economy and the investment confidence, which happens corporately and household on a household level. Come on, man. You know, that's why a lot of evil in the world and evil devices are all conjured up because of people wanting more and more money. That's why the scripture saying First Timothy chapter 6 and 10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, there you go, they have erred from the faith. And that talks about even people in the truth, man. You know, the apostles tell the account of I can't remember who it was, so I don't want to quote the name in case it's wrong, but one of the heads of old, man, you know, used to be praying to the angels for money, man. You know, Shakwayam, Shakwayam, Razakalium, all of that, you know, all of that stuff, man. I'm praying to angels, calling on Raphael and Gabriel and Micah Allah and all this. Micah Allah wa Akbar ya Allah wa Rafa ya Allah. You know, all of that stuff, man. Praying to angels, which is off. All for my that see, that just shows you, man. You err from the faith means go off. We already know that you only pray to the Heavenly Father, man, through the Son. Okay. But then here you have it, they were praying to angels, meaning they erred from the faith, they went off from the truth because of money. And they got the money. And as the apostles give the account, when the money came to the school, that's when the school went to shit, you know, broke up. So there you go, man. That's a prime. That's why we don't at GMS, man. We don't care about money in the sense of, come on, man. You know, we stress the fact that you have a job so you can pay. You pay what you got to pay to Esau. Give unto Caesar what Caesar. If you got a family, you know, you're meant to look after your family, man. You know, you got a wife. She may work. You work. You know, when you're low, Paul said that, man. I know how to abound. I know how to both abound and be abased, man. So there's times when you have it and there's times when you don't, man. And if you got a partner or whatever, there's times when you're low, she'll cover you. Times when she's low, she uh I messed up. There's times when you're low, she'll cover you. There's times when she low, you'll cover her, you know. Or if you got it like that, she pays for her own, but you still cover her with certain things, you know, because that's your woman, you're the provider type of thing, you know. Where you got children, you know, you got to look after your kids, man. You can't be because abortion's wicked, man. So if you wind up having a child, man, you got to look after the child, man. No brother should be talking about get rid of that baby. You know, if you have a child, then shit, man, you have a child, man. I ain't got a child, but you know, if that were to happen or whatever, man, you can't be talking about abortion, man. That's a spirit. That's a spirit. That's a life form, man. You know, and then you just gotta do what you gotta do to take care of your child, man. You know, that's in the scriptures, man. You know, you just gotta do that, man. Just that's wicked as all hell. Here you are, you got kids, and you just neglect your kids. That's bullshit, man. You know. But then that goes back to the whole point in the last scripture where it says, where does it say that? Um, no. Where is it, man? I just had it where it's talking about. Here we go, Ecclesiastes 7:12, which says money is defense, man. For you to divide, see, for you to survive and defend you, your own, and your family, you gotta have that shmoney, you know. But then again, as we just read in First Timothy chapter 6 and 10, the love of it is where the evil comes, man. You know, where's this? And the whole thing of remember one of the articles that this is I'm gonna end it on this, man. One of the articles that I was reading through earlier spoke of the idea that you need people to be doing bad for the system to work, right? That's evil as all hell. But when you read the scriptures, man, nobody, yeah, there's poor people, there's people that, there's different ranks and class, you know, people more wealthy than others, but even the so-called poor and homeless, man, they are taken care of, man. Nobody really, if the law is applied perfectly, man, nobody would be doing so-called bad, man, you know. Nobody would have it hard up, as they would say. Okay. And Esau, here they are making deals and selling debt. Yeah. But the Lord gave us a way where debt is wiped out, you know, over periods of time, man. And it says in Deuteronomy chapter 15, and it says, at the end of every 7 years, thou shalt make a release. And this is the manner of the release. Every creditor that lendeth aught unto his neighbor shall release it. He shall not exact it of his neighbor or of his brother, because it is called the Lord's release. All right. And that's like, you know, if you're in debt to your brother and this guy can't really pay it back, and he's stressing because he's still got to work, he's still got to farm his land, he's still got to look after his wife and his children and whatnot, you know. And he made it, you know, he owed you something and he can't pay it. When that year of release comes, you got to say, you know what, bro, it's cool, man. It's cool. Wipe the slate clean. You don't owe me nothing, man. That was to happen throughout all of the land of Israel, man. You know, verse 3, or a foreigner mayest exact it again, but that which is dying with thy brother, thine shall release. Exactly. And that foreigner is probably is talking about, what do you call it, a heathen, man, you know, because you're not meant to, once again, that's usury, which is interest. You're not meant to do interest with usury is interest, yeah. So you're not meant to do interest with another Israelite, man. Now, so if it's a Hamite, you know, or someone, someone of another nation, then you can charge them interest. But if it's another Israelite, you shouldn't be doing interest when you do transactions, man. You know. Verse 4: Save when ye shall be no poor among you, for the Lord shall greatly bless thee in the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it. Okay. Only if thou carefully hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power to observe and to do these commandments which I command thee this day. Uh, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna skip down to I'm gonna skip down to verse 9, and it says, beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying, the seventh year, the year of release is at hand, and thine eye be evil against thy poor brother, and thou givest him naught, and he cry unto the Lord against thee, and it be sin unto thee. So basically, you know, if the brother needs something, right, and then you give it to him, or you could give it to him, you might say to yourself, nah, I ain't gonna give him that, because in 2 years or the next year, is gonna be the year release. So he just gonna take it now and then not have to pay me back. He thinks he's smart, but I'm smart. I ain't gonna give him that. But that brother, man, he might genuinely need your help, man. And he ain't even thinking like, oh yeah, next year's the year release, so I'm gonna just take it and he don't have to, I won't have to pay him back, man. So the Lord said, put away that wicked thought from your heart, man. You know. So the scriptures tell us how to deal with each other when it comes to trading, man, and giving and receiving, man. You know. And when you read other places in the scriptures, and it talks about your produce, you know, when you gather the fruit of your field or the fruit of your seed, you know, whatever you plant or whatever, like let's say grapes or whatever, you can pick everything in your field, but the surrounding hedges, right, of your land, you shouldn't pick that, man. Why? Because it's for the poor, all right, and they have it, man. You know. So in the streets of Israel, in the ancient world, man, you wouldn't see no Israelites um on the street corners begging for money so they can go and buy some bread and eat. You know, and that happens a lot in the Midlands, man. Up where I'm at, man. People always talking about, oh, have you got Edomites? Have you got any change to spare? Have you got any change to spare? I just need a coffee. Just need a coffee. You got any change to spare? Come on, bruv. Come on, bruv. Got any change to spare? You fucking Edomites, man. You know. But in the ancient world, you ain't gonna have no Israelites saying that, man. Why? Because they knew that it was in the law that, man, I'm so hard up that I'm gonna just walk house, right? Or a fellow Israelite's house. And when I walk past their land, I can glean off the grapes, man. I can glean off whatever's there, the fruits that's there, man. You know. But then it was also that they couldn't bring a basket and start gleaning. They could only eat whilst they were walking by, man, or what they had at the time, man. So the Lord caters for everyone, man. The Lord caters for the rich, the mediocre, the poor, everything. Man. Everyone's catered for, man. You know, the Lord set up the system whereby even the so-called bad are doing good, man. You know, concerning wealth. But then Esau is here making a filthy lucre out of people's demise, man. Out of people's hardship, man. Out of people being hard up. Esau's making money off that, man. Esau's living off that, man. That's why you're the fucking devil and you've got to go, man. You know, you've got to go, man. You've actually got to go. Yeah, that's it. I've gone through the scriptures, man. I've gone through the using economic the basics of economic analysis overview to show you that the, the world economy. And I thought I kind of focused on the UK, but the world economy and the UK, man, you know, it's not looking too good, man. Dark days ahead, man. We're already in dark days, but even darker days ahead. You know, and as they say, the darkest part of the night is before dawn, and that dawn will be when the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai is set up again, man. You know, but bottom line, you know, I've used the economic tools to try and show you that this place is on the out, man. This place is going down, and a couple of scriptures just to reiterate those facts, those unambiguous facts without a shadow of a doubt, man. Economics bears witness to the downfall of this wicked society, man. And to that we say, Abad Babao Barakata, Abad Babao wa Barakata Yahweh Hashem Yoshai Hashem Makar Kwadash, man. Because that's a beautiful thing, you know. It's a beautiful thing. So with that, brother, stay strong. I hope it's been an edifying lesson. I know, you know, a lot of people gonna find this boring, but you know, those who need to hear this will watch, man, and understand, man. But always been an edifying lesson. You know, keep your eyes up, keep your spirit on fire, because yeah, man, even Esau's economics bears witness that he's on the way out, man. So with that, once again, give infinite glory, honor, and praise and blessings upon the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makar Kwadash, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahshai, Bahashem, Makar Kwadash, Barak, Barakatham. Okay, and with that, I'll say Shalom.